Welcome back to Legacy Contracts, and if this is your first time here, we're glad you found us. This channel exists for attorneys who sense that something beneath the surface of their firm isn't quite working, even if it's hard to name. Here, we look beyond surface-level efficiency and into the invisible systems shaping how your firm operates, serves clients, and sustains growth. Through practical insight and honest conversation, we help bring clarity to what's often overlooked, so you can lead with intention, not assumption. If you're interested in building a law firm that's not just functional, but thoughtfully designed, you're in the right place. Let's begin. If awareness alone changed behavior, most law firms wouldn't feel strained. Because the truth is, you already see the problems. You know where things break down. You've talked about delegation. You've identified challenges. You've named the stress points. And yet, under pressure, everything snaps back. Today, we're talking about why that happens, and why insight, by itself, doesn't create movement. Why firms revert under stress. When pressure increases, people don't pause to reflect. They default. They default to what's fastest. What feels safest. What has worked before, even if it's exhausting. This isn't a discipline issue. It's a design issue. Systems behave exactly as they're built to behave when stress removes the luxury of choice. How systems reward speed over clarity. In many firms, the person who answers fastest becomes responsible. The person with the most context becomes the catch-all. The leader becomes the decision filter for everything. Speed is rewarded, clarity is optional, so even if everyone knows clarity would help, the system keeps reinforcing urgency instead. Why? We talked about this, doesn't create movement. This is where frustration builds. Because talking feels like progress. But without changing ownership, authority, or workflow, nothing actually moves. Awareness without structure creates tension, not transformation. That's why the same issues resurface, not because people forgot, but because nothing in the system changed. Introduction to structural gravity. This is what I call structural gravity. It's the force that pulls firms back to default behavior when pressure hits. And until that gravity is addressed, insight will always lose to design. No fixes yet, no tools today, just a lens. Because once you understand why systems revert, you stop blaming effort, and start seeing what actually needs to shift. If this resonates, it's not because your firm is broken. It's because your systems are doing exactly what they were built to do. And naming that is always the first step. We hope today's insight helped bring clarity to something that may have been operating quietly in the background of your firm. Progress doesn't always start with doing more, it often starts with seeing more clearly. Law firms aren't built overnight. They're shaped by the decisions you make once the invisible becomes visible. This is Legacy Contracts. Until next time, keep leading with clarity.